everyone, and welcome back to episode 13 of my F1 2016 Force India career mode, where today we are at the Belgian Grand Prix. Now, as I promised you guys this morning, as we did have a horrible race at Germany, I promised you guys I would upload a second video today of the Force India career mode. Obviously, the Belgian Grand Prix, my favourite track on the F1 calendar. If you guys haven't gone and seen the German Grand Prix yet, I would go and do so just to see, obviously, the R&D testing and the race as well, although it wasn't a very good race for me, I won't lie. But if you guys are new around here as well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more F1 2016 content from the Force India career mode, from Clause 69's co-op career mode, and just other series ideas I've got planned in the near future. Now, as we can see here, just looking at the end of our track acclimatization lap, we do go purple there, an absolutely beautiful lap. I was so happy for myself there, it was nearly perfect as well. But then moving on to our quali sim lap, we kind of have a huge moment up Eau Rouge. And then second time lucky, hopefully we'll be able to get it right this time. As you can see, we're a lot quicker going down towards Eau Rouge this time. But again, we just take too much curb there. That corner is absolutely horrible when you just go over the curb, and that was the car out for the rest of free practice. So we had to come back for qualifying. We had to come back stronger and fighting harder again. That Eau Rouge and Radion is just so scary on this game in comparison to the old games, where you just can't afford to take any curb up there on Eau Rouge. Obviously Radion's absolutely fine, but Eau Rouge you just can't take any curb. Meanwhile, now we're moving on to our qualifying lap here, and as you can see, Daniel Ricciardo is currently set the fastest lap of the day. But as we come through, open the DRS flap, what position are we going to go into? We go fastest. I think that's just over 0.5 of a second quicker than Daniel Ricciardo there, so a very good lap there from myself. I was very happy with that. But when it came to the end of the session there, as we could see, both Mercedes, Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen did end up out-qualifying us there, which is a bit of a shame, I won't lie. But we did just out-qualify Felipe Massa there. So P5 in qualifying, a very strong performance there. 6 drivers within 3.5 tenths of each other there. So hopefully it's going to be a very close Grand Prix. Obviously, just looking forward to hopefully getting a good start. Starts for us so far this game have been actually pretty damn good, so obviously just hoping we can do that today. But there we go, Rosberg and Hamilton are on the front row there. And let's just have a little look through our race strategy here, just see what we're going to try and go through here. See if we do want to change strategy. Obviously, we do like to try and stretch out the tyres, the medium sets ideally. We're going to have to see if we can potentially, we're going to go with a potential two-stop Grand Prix with 2 sets of super softs. 2 sets of softs and 1 set of super softs. But I'm not sure whether we'll end up sticking to that strategy. We are considering doing a super soft, super soft again. There's a lot of softs and super softs being said here. But we do end up actually going for the 3-stop strategy there, and just bringing down the fuel ever so slightly as well. Just trying to remember how many laps you've got to do around this Grand Prix. But let's move in, obviously, into our formation lap here. As you can see, we just want to cycle all the way up through the gears, all the way back down the gears. Just making sure that the car is in good condition and ready to go for the Belgian Grand Prix. So on the start line here, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we go for the Belgian Grand Prix there. And I actually thought to begin with we jumped the start there because we got it so well timed as well. We managed to move up into the lead already from P5 on the grid. An incredible start there from us. We've moved up from P5 to P1, so we've overtaken both Mercedes, Bottas and Verstappen there. And incredibly happy with that. Rosberg's going to try and go side by side with us up Eau Rouge, but thinks better of it, so ends up going side by side with his teammate. But that was an absolutely incredible start from myself there. P5 up to P1 by turn 1. Obviously a very short run to turn 1 as well there. So incredible start there for myself. But moving on to the end of that too, as you can see we go purple, but Hamilton just goes and straight away goes and takes it away from us. Going through La Source though, we run a little bit wide there, don't get anywhere near close enough to the curb here. As you can see just how much quicker Rosberg is off the corner there. The Mercedes just getting so much better traction out the corners there, so it was a bit of a shame for us. But going up Eau Rouge now, we go side by side with him over Radion. We do cut Radion there slightly and barge Nico Rosberg pretty much out of the way there. A bit aggressive there, I won't lie. But we do therefore maintain the position, and the FIA haven't said we need to give back the place, so we're not going to, obviously. But now on to lap 4, as you can see here, once again we get an absolutely terrible run out of La Source. Not really sure what that's all about there. I don't know whether it's just the fact we're taking too much curb or anything. But Rosberg now is still right behind us. We get a little bit on the curb there, try and correct before it even happens there. and somehow hold it in the right direction. Up Radion there. So next up, obviously just trying to avoid the grass there, but Rosberg's going to go up our inside, up the Camel Straight. Is he going to be able to hold the position into the corner? He does outbrake us there ever so slightly. So he moves up into the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix there. But coming through the next couple of corners, are we going to be able to get back past him? No, we're not. He just needs to just pull away the Mercedes traction. It's almost like the Mercedes is running like better traction control, right? It's just so odd and just impossible to try and compete with. As you can see, coming to the end of lap 4 here, though, it is pretty much our time to make our first pit stop of the day. Lewis Hamilton has actually made his first stop 1 lap beforehand, and Nico Rosberg has decided to come in as well. But this hopefully could be a time where we do close in on him a little bit slightly. But unfortunately, we don't manage to there, as Rosberg just brakes so late. Perez has followed us into the pit lane there, which was a bit of a disappointment, because obviously that means he's going to be knobbed up for his pit strategy, as he's going to end up coming out just a bit behind us. But just at this stage here, we are hoping to get past Nico Rosberg, but we don't end up doing so, as the Mercedes pit crew pretty much matches the Force India pit crew there. Obviously, in real life, the Mercedes pit crew is probably a little bit quicker, but as we can see, coming out the pits, we've both been held up. Lewis Hamilton there has just gone round the outside of both Rosberg and myself, and that has meant that Kimi Raikkonen has also got through. So we're down in P4 technically in net position there, which is a bit of a shame to see for ourselves, but hopefully we should be able to close back in on these guys, as Kimi Raikkonen and Nico Rosberg are trying to do a Mika Hakkinen and Michael Schumacher pretty much carbon copy there to Rio Haryanto there. It was actually quite odd to see, just based on how well realistic it really was, the fact that one obviously got the position on the inside and everything. But that has meant we are right behind the net race leader here at this point of Lewis Hamilton, moved down the inside of Nico Rosberg, sorry there. They had a lot of contact with Kimi Raikkonen's rear end there. Just mistimed our braking slightly there, but we have managed to hold the position off from Nico Rosberg there, getting incredibly close to the tyre wall, as he's going to try and go down or inside into, I think it's Puon, but I can't remember exactly. And we've made contact with his with his front end there, and we've spanned the car in a half spin there. We've moved down behind 4 other cars there. Bottas has just crashed into the back of us and written himself out this Grand Prix there, which is a huge shame for Bottas. Williams just seem to be having so much problems with actually making it to the end of Grand Prix at the moment. Hopefully they will be able to recover that car though safely, so we don't end up with the safety car. Although at this point it would actually be worked out very well for us if we did get a safety car there. But now moving on to lap 10 here, not lots really happened here. Obviously a few drivers have made their pit stops, but Vettel is trying to get past Raikkonen there, as Verstappen is holding them both up. Verstappen, I think, had a huge lock-up going into the chicane. Chicane. Sorry, I can't get the right words out. But next up, we are with the DRS trying to look up the inside of Sebastian Vettel. We get the move. We do make a bit of contact with Verstappen's rear end that time, and him and Kimi Raikkonen are going to try and go side by side up towards Eau Rouge there. Kimi Raikkonen is going to squeeze me really tightly up to the pit wall, down towards Eau Rouge, but we managed to get past him, trying to go round the outside of Max Verstappen, massively just bail out of Radion there, so we do end up giving him back the position there. But we're going to have the DRS. Kimi Raikkonen there, as you can see in our rear view mirror, is trying to make a move around the outside, but he's going to think better of that, as he pretty much just gets squeezed out. But that means we move back up into P6, which is effectively net third of the Grand Prix there. But moving on now to lap 13, obviously, we have managed to stay out far longer than Nico Rosberg, because we are on a harder set of tyres there, sorry. But now Sainz has moved into the lead of the Grand Prix, a very odd one to see there. Not really sure, obviously his strategy means he's probably going to come into the pit sort of 1 or 2 laps later. But it's going to be how far behind Nico Rosberg we are, and if we are still ahead of, obviously, both Ferraris and Max Verstappen there. As we can see, if you look on the left-hand side in the top corner there, we've already got Verstappen has gone past us there, which is a huge shame for us. It means we've lost out quite a few positions, but we are on a much quicker tyre here, as Felipe Massa does go past us, but obviously with a much shorter run through turn 1 there, sorry. We will be able to get the position back. Whether he's going to be able to threaten us up Eau Rouge and into Radion and up the Camel Straight is a very different question. Obviously, he will have the DRS there, which may mean he will be able to get the position. As he goes around our outside up the Camel Straight, we try and defend, but we're just not going to have much to be able to do from it. But we're going to look up the inside into the corner, obviously on a lot better set of tyres, fresher and quicker tyres, which moves straight back past him up into P13 of the Belgian Grand Prix there, with 6 laps to go of this race. But moving on now to lap 17, as you can see, we've caught up Max Verstappen. Not really sure what our hand was doing there. Don't know if that's a bit of a glitch in the game or anything there, but he kind of just gave up the driving. But now he's been held up by Gutierrez there, so we're just going to move up the inside of Verstappen. Gutierrez tries to defend the position, but we just get our front wing in there. So we move up into P11 of the Belgian Grand Prix. And it was also about this point that I realised that drivers such as Sainz and Alonso that we'd seen that were leading the Grand Prix were on a one-stop strategy. So they were going one stop less than obviously all us top drivers who hadn't been able to hold on a new set of tyres for the race, which managed to give them such a huge advantage. But next up on lap 18, as you can see, some of these drivers that have gained absolutely massively. We've got one of them, I can't see who that just is quite yet. But as you can see, we've just got a huge train from the front running cars. We've got both Ferraris, Ricciardo and Hamilton, and we've Jenson Button, sorry, is the car holding us up as we've moved past Kimi Raikkonen and Daniel Ricciardo there. So very happy moving up into P8, but it does mean that apart from Rosberg, all of us are going to lose out so massively to those guys that have been able to one-stop this Grand Prix. As Vettel's looking up the inside of Hamilton there, we're just going to follow Vettel through there, but we're also going to move up the inside of Vettel there, lose a bit of our front wing there as we get over the curb and nearly lose the back end there. Luckily that front wing damage isn't going to be too major for us there. So we move up into P6 of the Belgian Grand Prix with just 4 laps to go. Whether we're able to reel in the guys ahead of us, I'm not too sure just yet, as Jenson Button pretty much is able to hold the gap right now ahead of us, as he has just been able, his medium tyres have just managed to grain so much better than our set of super softs here. Obviously the medium tyres will last far longer, but Daniel Ricciardo now is looking like he's going to get a bit feisty with us, going up Eau Rouge, up through Raidillon there. We kind of missed the apex of Raidillon there, cut the corner slightly, but Daniel Ricciardo is going to have the DRS. Obviously we're not within a second of Button, so we're not going to have DRS. And Daniel Ricciardo, as I look up our inside, we do break a little bit early as Daniel Ricciardo tries moving up the inside. We go side by side up through the chicane there. He's still going to be on the inside through the next corner as we jump down the hill there into the hairpin, but we get on the gravel there, so he's going to be able to hold the position off for P6 of the Belgian Grand Prix. On lap 20, we're going to try and stick behind him, but just the amount of traction he has on the set of soft tyres, the strategy we went with today really just hasn't gone too well for us. But meanwhile, on the final lap of the Grand Prix there, we've actually got Kimi Raikkonen and Romain Grosjean right behind us. We've lost a little bit more of our front wing at some point, not really sure when that's happened. But coming through the final chicane, we are currently in P7 of the Grand Prix there. Grosjean's trying to look a bit feisty, but we've actually run out of fuel as we come towards the line there. Both Grosjean and Raikkonen are going to overtake us. So we're going to finish in a horrible P9 there. Just such a disappointing result after we have to remember that amazing start we had from P5 up to P1. Toto Wolff is very happy, with Rosberg really being the only two-stopper that was able to really stop all those one-stop drivers. Anyway guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more F1 2016 content from myself. Thank you ever so much for watching guys, and I will see you in the next one.